again. Well, today this is the second video on the topic subject and predicate. I'm sure you would have enjoyed the first video. Well, let's begin the chapter with recalling or remembering what we learned in the previous video. Kids, we learned about subject. So what is a subject? Yes, in a sentence, subject is a naming word. It could be a place, it could be a thing, it could be an idea that we are talking about. So, we are talking about something in the sentence. Who or what will be the subject. So, the word that answers the question, who or what will be the subject. And what is a predicate? Well, the action done by the subject in the sentence is called the predicate. For example, Rama killed Ravana. So, Ram is the subject, killed Ravan is the predicate. Okay? I am late. I is the subject, am late is the predicate. So kids, let's continue with our exercises in the book Tune In to Grammar. I want you all to take your grammar books and come to page number 9. Please observe here kids, it says learn and the exercise is asking us to match the subjects with the predicates. So we begin first with reading the subject in the left and then reading all the predicates in the right, so that we can have a logical understanding or a connection between the subject and the predicate here. So first one is Everest. So let's continue reading the predicate here. Move from one place to another is the best policy. 9 is the festival of lights. Believed in truth and non-violence. Is the highest mountain in the world. Is man's best friend. So here, if you see, all these do not logically match this. Everest, you know it is Mount Everest that we are talking about. So this F option goes well with Everest is the highest mountain in the world. So you can take your scale and match with the option F. Now let's move on to the next one, that is the peacock. So we continue here reading it. Is man's best friend. Displayed its beautiful plumage. Plumage means the feathers. So yes, the peacock is known for its beautiful plumage or the colorful skin and the beautiful feathers that it has. So you can match 2 with the age. Then you have the nomads or the nomads. So if you can read this option here, is the world famous playwright? No. Was overcast? No. So we go back to the first option here. Move from one place to another. Yes. So there is a logical connection between the nomads and this. That is, nomads are people who move from one place to another. So you can match the third one with the A. So kids, I want you to match the rest of the subjects with the predicates. I shall share the notes with you in the WhatsApp group. Kids, I want you to turn the page and come to page number 10 on your grammar books. Look at the first exercise, that is A. It says identify the subjects in these sentences. Also state the sentence type. So here it says when you read the sentence you should identify the subject. So you're going to underline it and then you're going to identify what type of sentence it is. Right? So let's begin solving a few questions. First one, it says, here is the ointment that the doctor prescribed. So, which is the subject here? If you observe the pattern of the sentence here, the subject is not in the beginning. We are having the subject, the doctor, here. The subject always does a action, right? So the doctor is the subject. And what kind of a sentence is this? This is a statement, a assertive or a declarative sentence. Second one, if you look at this, what a terrible mistake she made. So it says, what a terrible mistake she made. So where is the subject here? The subject is at the end, right? If you can recall the previous video where we learned the subjects in different types of sentences. So in exclamatory sentences, the subject is usually at the end. So she is the subject, underline it. What kind of a sentence is this? Yes, it is a, what is it? I am sure you know. Look at the punctuation here. Yes, it is an exclamatory sentence. So you are going to write here exclamatory sentence. Let's look at the third one. Will you take the pets out for a walk? Well, if you see, this is a question. So we identified the sentence first, and then will you take the pets? So you is the subject here. Underline this and write here interrogative sentence. Fourth one, there is a large box on the table. So what do you think is the subject here? Yes, it's a large box which is placed on the table. What is the kind of sentence, or what is the type of sentence here? It is a declarative sentence or an assertive sentence. So students, you will have to do the rest of the exercise on your own, and I shall send you the notes later and you can cross-check your answers with my answers. Let's move on to the next exercise, exercise B. So I want you to read carefully the question and understand what it is trying to tell us. Arrange these groups of words to form sentences. So you see there will be jumbled words and you need to rearrange them and form meaningful sentence. Then you're going to punctuate and identify the subject and the predicate of each sentence. So this is what the question is asking us to do. We're going to punctuate it and then underline the subject and underline the predicate too. Or if you wish to, you can circle the predicate even. So first one, look at the green board. Here, now leave room the right. These are jumbled words. So how would you place them? If you remember in the last lesson, we learned about the kinds and transformation of sentence, and there was one exercise which asked us to rearrange the jumbled words. So we apply the same rules here and have the sentence, leave the room right now. So this is a order, right? It's an order, right? So you will put a full stop, and what kind of a sentence is this? Imperative sentence. Now we find out what the subject is and what the predicate is. So it says, leave the room right now. So if you remember, in the imperative sentences, the subject is always you, the person who is supposed to be doing the task. So you is the subject while the rest of the whole part is the predicate. So the whole of the sentence is the predicate. Okay? So let's look at the second example. Did YU quilt bring you the width? Okay, so here again it's jumbled. Rearrange them in a logical, meaningful sentence. So if you see, why did you bring the quilt with you, right? So it's a question. So we're going to arrange the words like this and then punctuate it with a question mark. Why did you bring the quilt with you? I punctuate it with the question mark. Identify the subject now. Now if you remember, in interrogative sentences we had the subject somewhere in between the helping verb and the actual verb, right? So we're going to find out, why did you bring? So it's you, this is the interrogative word, and this is the bring, that's the verb. So here, why did you bring? So you is the subject here, and the rest part of the sentence is the predicate. Kids, I want you to solve the rest of the questions, and I shall share the notes with you in the WhatsApp group, and later you can write down them in your grammar notebook. Let's move on to the next exercise, that is, provide meaningful subjects or predicates for these sentences. Now here kids, you would have to think and add whatever subjects you feel like or whatever predicates you feel like. But make sure there is always a logical understanding or a logical meaning in the sentence. So here it says the dash escaped from the jail. Well, what do you think will be the subject here? You cannot write the man, you cannot write the woman, you cannot write the children, or you cannot write any subject that you feel like, but it has to be in sync with the predicate given here. So what do you think, or who do you think would have escaped from the jail? Yes, the prisoner. It could be the thief, it could be the burglar. Yes, so there are many things that you can add as a subject in this sentence. So here in this exercise you have your own choices. You just cannot copy it from another children or another child. You just have to put your own creativity or own thought and fill in this exercise. So let's move on to the second one. Dash keep pollution away. Now here, if you see, there is only one thing that can keep pollution away. What do you think they are? I'm sure some of you have the answer. Yes, they are the trees. So the trees keep pollution away. You cannot write anything else other than that. So make sure again there is a logical sync or an understanding between your subject and the predicate. Let's move on to the third one. Dash is the king of the jungle. Well, here it's a fact. So here you don't have to have any random answer because there is only one king in the jungle, right? And that I'm sure you know. What is it? Yes, it's the lion. Students, I want you to do the fourth and the fifth by yourself. Let's move on to sixth one because it is asking us to fill in the predicate here. So the lush green grass. So what do you think would be the following predicate here? It's talking about the green grass. So further, what can you fill? Well, I leave it up to you, but I can give you a hint. The lush green grass was twinkling with the dewdrops. Yes, you can think of any other predicate as well. Look at the seventh one, the snowy mountains. So here, what would you want to fill the predicate as? You must be talking something in relationship with the snowy mountains. So you can write the snowy mountains looked bright. Well, I leave you all here that you can solve the question number 8, 9 and 10 by yourselves. I shall share the notes with you in the group. I hope you have understood the concept of subject and predicates well, and I wish you do the homework really well with neat handwriting. I have seen many of your homeworks with not so good handwriting, so I suggest all those writers to practice handwriting at least 10 lines every day. So if you begin now at this early age, probably when you are out of the school, you will have developed a better handwriting. So now I end the class here, and I wish you be safe and healthy at home. Until then, you take care. Happy learning. Bye bye.